it's not the communication skills that will get you a job. The freshers that are coming out of college right now are much more talented. You should start looking out for an internship from first, second year itself. Electrical is best, mechanical is best. आज सब coding है.
Hi everyone, so today we have a very special guest. I think आप लोगों ने उनकी classes Geekster की जरूर ली होंगी. So we have Vikas Ranjan with us. So let's get on the tour. उनकी जर्नी सुनते हैं आज. उनके साथ बहुत सारी बातें करते हैं about revolving the tech और उन्होंने यहाँ पे Geekster की position as a mentor कैसे join की और उनके क्या experiences थे. So welcome to the podcast, Vikas. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very good. Thank you for having me, Archita. I have been working with Geekster for about 2-3 years now. And finally, I'm here in the office. I feel very good to be part.
I'm very glad because you have been working with us from the start.
Right.
जब से Geekster found हुआ था, you were with us.
Right.
So I think the podcast की जो शुरुआत हो रही है वो foundation से हो रही है. ये
Right.
वो सबसे अच्छा start हो रहा है. So let's start with your journey की starting आपने कहाँ से की थी? आपका college कैसा था? And आपका coding में कैसे interest था?
Sure. So I'm from an ICSE school.
Okay.
So schooling में ही we had some bit of Java and programming. So I think class 7th, 8th se I had been coding. But honestly, I was not very sure if I would pursue it as my career option.
Okay.
But my college was in Ranchi. It's BIT Mesra Birla Institute of Technology. So I think it was around my third year, final year of college when I did an internship at a very early age startup. और वहाँ पर जाकर I had a great learning. I learned many new technologies, front end, back end, Python, Angular, JS, a lot of things, and they were like very interesting. We built an e-commerce application from the scratch, and I was like, कितना simple है ये, कितना interesting है ये, जो चीज़ें हम देख रहे हैं, Flipkart, Amazon use कर रहे हैं, मैं actually वैसा कुछ बना रहा हूँ.
Yeah.
So I think that was the turning point in my career. उससे पहले मैंने सोचा था कि शायद मैं engineering करके management MBA करूँगा and I will move to a different field. But yeah, that's how my first interest towards programming and technology developed, and that the rest is like I have been continuing in this field.
That's wonderful. So college में coding का interest आया था, तो college supported it या आपकी जो internship journey थी उसमें सबसे ज़्यादा push मिला था? What was it?
I think it was, I would say, I would give more credit to the internship. So college में there was an environment, but honestly मेरा interest ज़्यादा नहीं. I was more interested towards activities, tech fest, cultural activities, social activities. I was more inclined towards that. But I would say जो वो internship था उसमें जब चीज़ें सीखने को मिली तो वो push ज़्यादा मिला था. And then there was always a crowd of people who were very tech savvy, जो बहुत ही ऐसी हाई-फाई बातें किया करते थे. मुझे लगता था कि it is some rocket science, but when I learned it myself, when I did hands-on coding and I developed things from scratch, then I realized कि इतना भी कोई rocket science नहीं है. It's something that anybody can learn and anybody can get better at.
Absolutely. I mean, when we talk about projects, it's the one that gives you a push and gives you a practical experience, for sure. But who introduced you to these projects, assignment, or even the internship? Was it the college or was it you searching about things, knowing market में क्या चल रहा है? So who was, or maybe your colleagues?
Right. So I think it was more about something that came from inside, that it was more of a peer pressure. Yes, sub internship कर रहा है, even I have to do an internship somewhere. So I started mostly searching over. I think Internshala was a very early age platform at that time.
Yeah.
So I started looking on Internshala and all of that, and then even my brother is from the same field, so he helped me out, and that's how I got that internship. And after that, I learned about a lot of other tools, a lot of other platforms जहाँ पे apply कर सकते.
So I think you were around with many good tech-savvy people,
Right,
that you mentioned. So your friends are there in the same industry?
Most of them. Yeah, because most of my friends are from college. They are, even if they were not from a computer science background, ultimately they turned out to be working in the same industry. So ऐसा भी, because this field is like so rewarding in itself. अब computer science से नहीं भी हो, you can learn coding and you can get a good job. So पहले कॉलेज में बहुत से लोग थे जो बोल रहे थे electrical is best, mechanical is best. आज सब coding कर रहे हैं.
Sub coding. Right. So you were from CS background.
I am from a CS background.
But have you seen some examples in your college itself जो mechanical से, electrical से, not your friends but have converted, or फिर you got to know कि ये CS में they moved?
Right. There were many of them. In fact, most of my close friends
Oh, they were.
They are from electrical background, working for Agoda, Walmart, electronics background, working for Expedia, Paytm. So they are doing good.
Did you motivate them?
I would not say I motivated them, but we are good friends, and we used to study together, apply for companies together. So it was more like that.
That seems very interesting. So my sources tell BITS Misra have this huge assignments list. Tests उनके कभी नहीं खत्म होते थे, कुछ ना कुछ आते रहता था. So was it hectic for you or was it interesting? You used to be a very studious student.
I would say it वो sources आपके बिल्कुल सही है, बहुत होते थे. But I think it was mostly कि मतलब कॉलेज में पता नहीं चलता यार, हो जाती है चीजें. मतलब somehow you get when everybody is doing it ना, you and if you have even if like peer pressure कह लो, competition की spirit कह लो, सब कर रहे हैं तो आप भी करने लगते हो, ठीक है. एंड विद गॉड्स ग्रेस हो जाता है. मतलब आज भले मुझसे पूछना, मुझे कुछ याद नहीं है, बट उस समय हो गया था. इट वेंट प्रीटी वेल. सो आई थिंक टीचर्स वर आल्सो वेरी सपोर्टिव. एंड व्हेन यू ग्रुप स्टडी इन हॉस्टल्स, you like if there is a test and like 6 chapters are going to come, तो हम 3 दोस्त मिलते थे, यार 2 तू पढ़ ले, 2 मैं पढ़ लेता हूँ, 2 वो पढ़ लेगा. एंड फिर 2 पढ़ के फिर सब एक दूसरे को बता देते थे. एंड दैट्स हाउ 2 रात में हम पढ़ाई करके खत्म कर लेते. हाँ. So I think that's how it went, and I think it went really well. I think college days were the best days of my life. So it went pretty well.
That's wonderful. So कोई ऐसा project that you remember doing that time and you feel like, oh, it was a very small or short project. This was a project that I made in my college.
We did actually 2-3 projects in the final year especially.
Okay.
One was an e-commerce application to sell mobile phones.
To sell mobile phones.
Yeah, it was more like
Amazon for mobile.
हाँ, Amazon for mobile.
Cash.
हाँ. उस समय मुझे लगता था कि मैंने बहुत मेहनत की है, ठीक है, मैंने बहुत कुछ जादुई बना लिया है, ठीक है. So I think that at that time it was good, it was interesting. अब मुझे लगता है मतलब इतना भी कुछ नहीं था. I think that time bootstrap was a very new technology, and उसमें क्या होता है, जो आपने देखा होगा कि सेम वेबसाइट को आप मोबाइल फोन में खोलो तो यूआई थोड़ा डिफरेंट है, लैपटॉप के बड़े स्क्रीन पे खोलो तो यूआई थोड़ा डिफरेंट है. तो ये चीजें उस टाइम पे नहीं आई थी 2014-15 में. दैट वाज अ न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी. सो आई थिंक वी यूज्ड टू like boast about it a lot कि देखो it's a responsive application that we have built. Now I feel like it was such a small trivial thing that, but उस टाइम लगता था कि ये बहुत बड़ी चीज है. But yeah, these projects were good. We did some one thing else, another project to detect plagiarism in applications, in your code, in any piece of writing. So these were interesting projects that we did. And I would say the college teachers were also super supportive in that sense कि वो ये नहीं कहते थे कि ये क्यों कर रहे हो, कुछ और करो. They were like, तुम्हें जो करना है करो. हाँ. And we are there to support you. So that was, I think, the best part.
That's wonderful. I think college journey आपकी सबसे interesting रही थी.
Definitely. हाँ.
सारे projects आपने try किए थे. Let's talk about placement now. कि आपने बताया कि आपकी internship company से you got a little boost and you got to know कि market में चल क्या रहा था. So I feel like लोगों को लगता है कि internships college के बाद करनी चाहिए, जो कि मेरे point of view में हमें practical knowledge सबसे पहले होनी चाहिए. That's what we at Geekster we also emphasize कि industry training is must.
Absolutely.
So what do you want to say to the kids who think कि internship or placements ये 4th year के बाद देखेंगे?
नहीं, I completely agree with you. I think you should start looking out for an internship from first, second year itself. So I think after every year, like in our college, we used to have a summer vacation of about 2-3 months.
Yeah.
So 2-3 months, that is very crucial. I think people should use that as much as possible. So after my first year, I went for a core Java training at HCL. So that was pretty good. मतलब Java थोड़ा बहुत तो आता था, but इंडस्ट्रियल में कैसे उसको यूज करते हैं, उसको यूज करके कैसे प्रोजेक्ट बना सकते हैं, वो मैंने सीखा. फिर सेकेंड ईयर जब खत्म हुआ, then I did another training in another language. Third year जब खत्म हुआ, I went for this internship at an early startup. So I think these there are many advantages of doing an internship. First of all, you work on something which is actually going to go live.
Yeah.
So it's not that मैंने एक website बनाया and it is sitting in my computer. It is actually going to go live. It will be there on the internet. I can add it to my resume and I can demonstrate it to anybody in an interview or something. And that gives me enough, like a lot of confidence, as in that is like my baby. I have created something from the scratch. So that is one thing. And then the next thing is that it gives you a lot of exposure also. Like like engineering or development or making an application is not just about writing code. There are 100 things involved with it, like how to work in a team and how to divide a task, okay, how to give estimates for a task, okay, and then if you have developed your code, how to deploy it to the server. So you learn a lot of other things when you are actually working in the industry rather than just writing code and building a web page.
Absolutely. So simultaneously, if you think your theory is good, you should give a practical hands as well.
Absolutely. So that
that's
is
a
really
must.
important. Yeah.
So let's talk about your work ex. You were with Zomato with quite some time.
Right.
So would you like to, I mean, Zomato, everyone have heard about it. So
Right.
everyone is very curious about how's the environment, how's the work culture there, and what you used to develop, and how interesting was it?
I feel it was super interesting. So at Zomato, I was working for a team. When we order from Zomato, we see a list of restaurants in our area. फिर हमने एक रेस्टोरेंट सेलेक्ट किया, सपोज हल्दीराम सेलेक्ट किया, तो हल्दीराम की पूरी मेन्यू दिखती है हमें, राइट, कि इसमें क्या ये आइटम्स मिलने वाले हैं. So this was the team where I was working essentially. The entire partner.
I think that's a recommendation.
Not this recommendation, the entire catalog, okay. पूरा catalog. So recommendation is another sub part of it. But एक merchant की side जो restaurant partners होते हैं, उनका पूरा side basically it was it. So there was a merchant.
No, they have their different
they have a different, yeah, they were an entire
so
different application.
You were on that.
Right. So mostly I was on that part. Okay. So it was the merchant side. So merchant could log in there. They could accept their order. कोई भी उस restaurant पे खाने का order आया. लेकिन हमें मैसेज आता है ना, this restaurant has accepted your order. So वो वाला part था. कोई नया order आ रहा है. They can see कि दिन में कितना sale हुआ है, कौन सा order है, कहाँ पे order है. Then कई बार होता है if you order late night, you see that this item is out of stock, you cannot order that. So the merchant can make changes in their menu. ये item है, इसका ये price है, veg है या non veg है, क्या क्या. इसके साथ if it is a pizza, it shows you that you can also add a Coke along with it. So these are the partner, the merchant adds this. So we had built a whole application so that they can do all of that. So I was working for this team. It was a very critical team from an online ordering point of view. ये नहीं होगा तो ऑनलाइन ऑर्डर्स ही नहीं चलेंगे. सो आई थिंक इट वाज सुपर इंटरेस्टिंग. पहले ये रेस्टोरेंट के लिए था, फिर Zomato also started delivering groceries in COVID. Even we also delivered alcohol for a very short time. It was all of that, and it was a very critical team कि कोई भी line of business हम बना रहे Zomato में, we were a part of it. It was a very I would say a critical part of the whole online ordering ecosystem in Zomato. And at Zomato, I think the work culture was amazing. I think the vibe was amazing, very fast paced, and there was a lot of ownership in everyone. So, like, I think it was credit goes to the leadership at Zomato that they built an environment where everybody felt that, okay, this is my company and I have to build something interesting. I have to build the best version of this product. So we were not focusing on कि ठीक है मैंने ये कोड लिख दिया, मेरा काम खत्म हो गया. We were focusing on कि ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हुई है नहीं. So it was more like a problem solving game rather than just doing your task and going on. So I think that was the best part that I used to love about it.
You make friends there? Colleagues?
A lot of friends were there.
So any apart from it, was there any development accomplishment that you made? Like, you made an entire application, but was there any significant number that you might be sharing? इससे इतना conversion बढ़ा, you made something.
So I think there were a lot of projects that we did, especially early COVID का जो time था. So nowadays you might have seen that you go to a restaurant, there's a QR code, you scan it, you see the whole menu, you can order from it and all of that. So this was something.
I think Zomato was the one who
we introduced it.
Yeah, you introduced, and I think Dine Out later.
Dine Out, Paytm, everybody did it. Right. So actually that was the time during जब COVID start हुआ था, तब restaurants closed थे और जैसे ही restaurants open हो रहे थे. Because Zomato was also there in other countries, like Middle East, it was very common in UAE and Turkey. It was being used. So we wanted that, okay, जिस भी country में मतलब lockdown हट रहा है, वहाँ पे लोग restaurant जाना मतलब अचानक से like in China सबसे पहले lockdown हटा था और वहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोग फिर restaurant जाने लगे थे एकदम से. हाँ. So we wanted कि as soon as people start going back to restaurants, we have this system ready. So I think that was a time when people worked like crazy, like 18 hours a day. For like I don't know how many weeks without a weekend off, because we were very serious about building and delivering this product. So this was a very important thing. Then there was another important project to increase the average order value that we are getting. and we built some great things and the the average order value was increased by almost 40-50% in about a few months' time.
I mean, that is the metric
Right.
that needs to be
Right.
achieved. Wonderful. I think it was a great journey. So let's talk about Coin. You moved to
Coinbase.
Zomato. It's a blockchain cryptocurrency technology.
Right.
So how do you
cryptocurrency
think? I mean, what's the work culture or what's the development differentiate do you see when you switch to Zomato category or maybe the food delivery category? I mean, how do you differentiate both of the categories that way?
Okay, so basically it's a totally different domain, and the major reason why I wanted to join Coinbase was this. So my first company was a freelance marketplace,
Okay.
something like Upwork.com or freelancer.com. Then my second company was they had a B2B SaaS product. Okay. Then the third company was the third company was Expedia, which is a travel giant, right? Then the fourth company was Zomato, which was a food e-commerce. So I learned a lot in all of these companies. All of these companies were like.
I think you've covered entire category.
Yes.
Travel to food to
B2B,
B2B to cryptocurrency.
Right. So I think for me, getting this domain knowledge is also very important. It gives you a lot of exposure when you work in these kind of product-based companies,
Definitely.
right? So you get to learn some business lessons also, that why the company is doing something, why they are taking some decision, or how they are trying to reach out to the customers, why they are building something, how they are getting good reviews and feedback, all of these things. So I think I learned a lot of these things as well. Also, because travel, food, these are so important and a part of our day-to-day life. So I think I made me a better engineer as well, especially because I am working more on the front-end side. So I think that's where it helped me more as an engineer as well. So I think that was my major motivation of joining Coinbase, because it was an entirely new domain, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and fintech. So I think that was the major motivation.
So I mean, is it the responsibilities are more here when it comes to the development, or is this the same one you were handling?
I think it is. I would say it is more, but it is more because of a higher number of experience. Now my role is a little different, right? It's a mix of sort of mentoring the team and development. So that's why it is a little different, and it happens with experience, basically, that the more experience you have, your role slightly changes from just being an individual contributor to sort of also getting to mentor the team and lead a few projects. Absolutely. So that's why the role is changed. But otherwise, as a company, Coinbase is I would say, a super duper comfortable company. They want to make sure that everybody in the company is happy. Although I would say from a business point of view, I would say cryptocurrency is not having its best time. From the last about 1.5-2 years, there has been a long crypto winter.
Yeah.
But we are hoping that things will get better pretty soon.
Yeah, hoping for the same.
Right.
But if I ask you to choose any best industry you have worked, so do you think you will be able to pick your favorite?
I think it will be very difficult, very unfair to do it. The only good thing with working at Zomato was that everybody knew Zomato. So अभी तक जितनी companies में मैंने काम किया है, in spite of Coinbase and Expedia being bigger companies than Zomato, maybe bigger than Zomato because they are global companies and they are also public listed before Zomato, but still India में Zomato सब जानते हैं, Expedia बहुत कम लोग जानते थे, Coinbase भी बहुत कम लोग जानते हैं. So that way even kids and everybody in my family knows. अभी भी सबको पता है मैं Zomato में ही काम करता हूँ. I think that.
Wasn't they disappointed when you leave Zomato and they were like, hey, that was a good company,
not really, because उन्हें लगा था कि मैं Zomato में हो गया तो मैं उन्हें free के food coupons दूंगा. फिर मैंने बोला ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. तो फिर.
Okay, tell me some perks, the hidden perks that you get while working in Zomato. Do you get special offers?
Honestly, no.
No, nothing.
No, they used to pay us pretty well, so you can do everything.
So everything, people have an assumption around it, as same your relatives as well, that okay, you must give some discount. Okay, 50% of the food must be free. Or something. Whenever you can order, you'll be getting the food, something like that.
So there was a time when we Zomato also introduced a Zomato Edition credit card.
Okay.
So we were the first ones to get it, and that we got without any charges, I believe. And with that, Zomato Gold membership was free for some time. So
Okay.
that is the only perk that I got in my 2.5 years. Nothing else. कोई food coupon कुछ भी नहीं मिल रहा था. And honestly, nobody really complained about it. कि मुझे तो नहीं चाहिए. Expedia में there was some perks, as in I think as an employee you could generate a coupon code, and that used to get you, I think, 10 or 20% discount on hotels. Yeah, but again, that was like you cannot generate more than 1 or 2 coupons. I think more than 2 coupons per year was the limit.
Oh.
हाँ, तो ऐसा नहीं कि सब में बांटते रहो, ऐसा नहीं था. And again, if you are using it, it has to be in your name. The booking has to be in your name. So there were some restrictions. Like
But it still perks to the users.
it is still perk, yeah.
Definitely, you work hard, guys. Definitely, you'll be achieving a
Right.
good success and simultaneously. So, see, it's all hard work.
Absolutely.
You are definitely here with all the experience, all the hard work that you've pushed around to these companies, and now you're a manager, I guess, and you're mentoring every single developer. So, can you just share that example with us? Like, how does it feel when you're mentoring the juniors developers? How do you tell them, or how do you guide them to not make the same mistakes maybe you have made?
Right.
So how do you like communicate them, or what pointers do you want to say our young users as well?
Sure. So first of all, the first thing that I want to acknowledge here is that the freshers that are coming out of college right now are much more talented than what I was 8 years back. Okay, so I was not this smart, I was not this aware. That is what I feel. So already I feel people are more aware now. I think this is because of the plethora of information that you have in today's world. You have platform for everything, for pretty much everything. Okay, if you want to prepare for a job interview, if you want to know what are the questions that are going to be asked in a particular company, every information is available right now. So I think that is predominantly why people are more aware. And I think it's also much easier to learn now. So I think that's a great plus. I would say the first thing is that people should be sort of serious or committed towards their job, towards their task. They should focus a lot on solving the problem. That is one key thing that I see missing in many people, many freshers. That some of them have this mindset कि ठीक है, मेरा काम हो गया, मैंने ये कोड लिख दिया, मेरा काम खत्म. Okay, so this mentality actually hinders you from learning. Okay, so you should focus more on कि exactly जो मैं बना रहा हूँ, जो पेज है, जो फीचर है, वो है क्या? What purpose is it going to solve? What is the business output that it is going to become? Or when a customer, when a user sees it, what are they going to decipher from this? Okay. So if you are thinking about that, then your perspective will change completely. You will not just see at this particular thing. You will zoom out और आप ऊपर से देखोगे कि overall इससे क्या impact पड़ेगा. So I think this will not only help you become a better engineer, it will also like help you become a better, give you a better domain sense or a better business sense. मैंने ब्राउजर में टाइप किया www.facebook.com और Facebook की वेबसाइट खुल गई. What is actually happening in the background? कैसे खुल रहा है वो वेबसाइट? क्या प्रोसेस हो रहा है? लोगों को ये नहीं पता है. There are many fundamental concepts of say data structures, programming, algorithms जो लोगों को नहीं पता है clearly. ठीक है? But they are able to solve lead code questions, hacker rank questions. I think that to me is not good. So people should actually, I think the focus should be more on learning the fundamentals.
So definitely this issue comes across very frequently. People lack in the fundamentals when going to an interview. So let's talk about the mentorship at Geekster. So first of all, why did you choose Geekster? Like you said, you read about it in an article of the news story about how Geekster was an ethic platform. But specifically, why Geekster and why you chose to become a mentor?
Sure. So I was already an educator. I think I had started 6 to 8 months back, and I was already involved with other edtech startups. And I had read about Geekster that Geekster is another edtech which has come, and we are trying to sort of teach students with full stack development skills. At that time, I did not have a lot of idea, but I just seen the profile of Ankit and Sahil at that time, and I would say within a few weeks, actually Sahil reached out to me on LinkedIn, and I was actually very excited to see that, and then we had a conversation, and I would say the conversation went on pretty well. The best part of it was that See, there are other edtech startups also which might be doing similar things. Okay, but what I learned from my conversation with Sahil is that here the commitment towards actually teaching the students and actually getting them a good job was very high. We were not focused on okay, we are having 2 batches now. Tomorrow we want to have 5 batches, 10 batches, 20 batches. And honestly, I have been a part of another edtech startup where the focus was on having as many number of batches and as many number of students. And then there was a time when they asked me that we are merging 3-4 batches and you take all of them. And there were like 600 students. And I was like, but I was pretty sure that this is not going to have an outcome, because 600 students in one batch, one educator, you cannot teach them properly. You cannot sort of resolve their doubts properly. So that was not going to work. But what I found that even when I kept working at Geekster, we used to take pauses every few months, and we used to analyze whether what we are doing is correct or not, whether we want to do some changes. So at one point of time, we realized that some students are not doing so well in interviews. So we started another special batch only for interview preparation, where we sort of revise all the topics, but more from an interview point of view. That okay, if JavaScript is there, we are not focusing a lot on JavaScript concept. We are focusing more on okay, JavaScript से ये क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं इंटरव्यू में, तो वो क्वेश्चन हम प्रैक्टिस करवा रहे हैं. HTML से ये क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, तो वो क्वेश्चन हम प्रैक्टिस करवा रहे हैं. डेटा स्ट्रक्चर से ये क्वेश्चन, तो ये क्वेश्चन हम प्रैक्टिस करवा रहे हैं. So it was a completely new thing that we did only for interview preparation. Similarly, we have revisited our syllabus so many times. We have revisited we used to have pre-course, but then we decided that okay, pre-course is maybe not working the way it is. So we tried to do something else. हमें मतलब बहुत बार हमने चीजें change की है just to understand कि what are students liking more. So the focus has always been कि students को क्या पसंद है, and students को किससे ज़्यादा फायदा होगा. So I think that has been the best part for me. I think the commitment in everybody, not just the founders, in everybody, the entire team. I think this culture has been brought by the founders to make courses which are best for the students. I think that is the best part.
That's wonderful. So we have cleared the part where we are different from them. We do not go with the numbers. We just want the quality and the teaching that we give to our learners. But apart from it, what other thing do you feel like that attracts you, that you think that Geekster's program has a very unique proposition?
I think the part that we are focusing on their all-round development is the best part. We're not just focusing on we are teaching you XYZ technologies and now you're good to go for interview.
Yeah.
We are also focusing on interview preparation. We have also focused on sort of taking mock interviews, soft skills growth, and all of this. So I think that is the best part.
So do you think this question comes a lot where the students say, "Ma'am, sir, I do not speak English well, and I won't be able to be comfortably given face-to-face interview." So do you think that's an issue, and that is a very concerned thing that we should look at, because many of the students come from tier 2, tier 3 cities,
right?
And they are great in the core skills, but they do lack in the communication. So I mean, what guidance do you want to give them, or what should they do better?
Right.
In that point.
Absolutely. See, first of all, I want to say that it's not the communication skills that will get you a job. Okay.
Yeah.
But the problem is not that you cannot speak English. The problem is that when I cannot speak English, I feel underconfident.
Yeah.
Okay. And this underconfidence actually makes me nervous, makes me awkward, and I'm not able to perform that well. I can tell you a lot of examples where I have given interviews and I was very well prepared. And I was sort of like, this was my dream company. I really wanted to get in there, but I could not clear that because I was so nervous in the interview. And then there have been many instances where I was like, I don't want to go there. I mean, I'm not serious about the company, but I'm just giving the interview just as an experimentation. Okay, that let's see what they ask. Okay, and I have done really well in the interview in spite of not being prepared at all.
So ये थे हमारे गेस्ट विकास रंजन, सीनियर सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर एट कॉइनबेस एंड गीक्स्टर के मेंटर. ऐसे ही इंटरेस्टिंग टेक पॉडकास्ट सुनने के लिए मेक श्योर टू हिट द सब्सक्राइब बटन एंड कैच यू इन द नेक्स्ट एपिसोड और भी इंटरेस्टिंग टेक पॉडकास्ट एंड इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स के साथ. टिल देन, बाय बाय.